Greetings, humans. It's me, Bob Harris, Senior Editor of FootballDiehards.com. It's time for the Week 8 injury preview, review, update, overview thing. We like to do this every Saturday to kind of set the table for you if you've been away all week or just now catching up. We'll kind of give you everything you need to have on your radar heading into your lineup build. But you need to go back and check the site. Anything I talk about, you'll want to double check those players. Things change. We're recording this early Saturday afternoon, so be aware. A good way to check, just look at the late breaking updates section of the site, or better still, if you have specific players, go to the staff rankings page where I'll have links to all the latest information for each individual player. Go check that out. It's good stuff. All right, bye weeks, Cardinals, Jaguars, Texans, football team, all out this week, so get those players out. Arizona, Jacksonville, Houston, Washington, not playing. COVID issues. The Minnesota Vikings had some positive tests earlier this week, all clear as of Saturday morning. Game against in Green Bay set to go on as scheduled. Denver, no new positives as of Saturday morning. Their game with the Chargers set to be played as scheduled. New York Giants had some positive tests earlier this week. None as of Saturday morning again, so Monday night's game against the Buccaneers on as scheduled. You want to check back Sunday. If there are any positives, you'll hear about them here in the late breaking update section of the site. And so now we'll dig into the injuries again. If things change, look for updates on the splash page. Any major changes will be there. Otherwise, let's dig in. Dalvin Cook listed as questionable for the Vikings. Missed the week before the bye. Had the bye week off. He's essentially been clear. Gary Kubiak said he won't be on a pitch count. Mike Zimmer said he's good to go. I think the only reason he has a questionable designation is because they worked him on a limited basis early in the week. So he draws the questionable designation. Expect him to play and get nearly a full workload. Well, might they rest him some? Sure, it's his first game back, but expect him to be busy enough. On the other side of the ball, Aaron Jones ruled out from the second straight week with a calf injury. Jamal Williams moves up in the rotation. Maybe we see a little more A.J. Dillon. Maybe not. I wouldn't, I think Jamal Williams is a safe play. Tyler Ervin also questionable there. Mason Crosby, the kicker, questionable. We'll know in advance if there's going to be an issue. You might want to check, you might want to just make a pivot now. He's clearly not healthy. He has two different injuries. Allen Lazard has not been activated from injured reserve. He has been practicing this week, so that's something to watch for as well in the late breaking update section of the site. That has to happen by 4 p.m. Saturday. If it does Eastern time. If it doesn't happen, then it won't happen this week. All right, Joe Mixon for the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Tennessee Titans. Ruled out again. Giovanni Bernard gets the starting assignment. John Ross listed as doubtful in that game. Has demanded a trade. Not happy with the way things are going for him. Understandable. Sorry, kid. Other side of the ball, Titans all clear. Everybody's good to go. Mark Ingram, Baltimore, hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, listed as doubtful with the ankle injury he suffered 2 weeks ago prior to the bye. The fact that he had the bye week and wasn't able to practice this week, pretty good indication he won't go. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, maybe a two-way split will be better off for fantasy managers. I don't know. Pittsburgh matchup's pretty tough, right? So I'd watch that. And Lamar Jackson is still a big factor in this passing attack. So be careful there, but there will be no Ingram, it seems. And Pittsburgh all clear. Deontay Johnson off the injury report. Juju Smith-Schuster off the injury report. Eric Ebron off the injury report. Deontay Johnson in particular, has been beat up a little bit, but good to go. The Cleveland Browns hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. Austin Hooper out for a second straight week following the emergency appendectomy. Harrison Bryant fared well in his stead as the starter, the rookie. David Njoku got some run too. By the way, Odell Beckham's out. You might not have heard. Well, you probably did. If you didn't hear, Odell Beckham's season-ending ACL injury. Rashard Higgins moves into the starting lineup. Donovan Peoples-Jones looked good in the wide receiver 3 role, but they also elevated Cordero Hodge activated him off injured reserve earlier today. So, I think Landry and Higgins are the top 2 weapons there on the outside. Bryant, top tight end weapon this week. On the other side of the ball, Bryan Edwards, the rookie wide receiver, listed as questionable. Seems like he's getting closer. Hasn't played since week 3 with the ankle and foot injuries. Nelson Aguilar's filled in capably. Henry Ruggs coming on. Darren Waller always option. So I don't know if they'll be rushing him in. And Trent Brown off the COVID-19 list. He could return. They need to see if he's, check his wind, as John Gruden said, to make sure he could handle this. It's going to be a cold day in Cleveland, by the way. The New York Jets at Kansas City. Jets offense, not good. And missing pieces. Frank Gore listed as questionable with a hand injury. My guess is he will play, but LaMichael P. Ryan's the guy they want to get more work. Maybe this is an excuse to actually do that. They kind of equal split last week. Jamison Crowder, doubtful with the groin injury. Looks like he'll miss his second straight game. Brashard Perriman, ruled out with a concussion. Sam Ficken, the kicker, doubtful with the same injury he missed last week's game with. Sergio Castillo will fill in for him. At wide receiver, Denzel Mims came back from IR, looked pretty good last week. He'll obviously be the leading weapon. Braxton Berrios as well, a pretty big player in there, kind of fills in that Crowder role in the slot, which is pretty important to this offense. So there are some pivots there. On the other side of the ball, Sammy Watkins ruled out with a hamstring injury again this week. Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson move up in the rotation. You know, both of them are kind of emergency only plays for me, but that's where we're at there. Also, Le'Veon Bell, revenge game. Okay, I don't know. I don't get that excited about it. I'll have an article up later Saturday afternoon. If you're looking at this later Saturday, it'll probably be up on Bell and the revenge game narrative. Very exciting. New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. Oh, man, this is a tough one. N'Keal Harry, Julian Edelman out already. Edelman had procedure on his knee, so he'll miss an extended period. Harry out with a concussion. This offense has not been going great guns anyway. Also, Damian Harris listed as questionable with an ankle injury. Dalton Keene, the rookie tight end, hasn't been a big factor. He was out of the injury report with a knee issue. So wide receiver, it'll be Jacoby Myers. It'll be Damiere Byrd. It'll be Gunnar Olszewski. And they'll probably raise somebody off the practice squad as well. But this offense has not been working well. This doesn't help it any. On the other side of the ball, Buffalo all good to go. John Brown off the injury report this week. Dawson Knox still on the COVID-19 list, so he won't play. Tyler Kroft filling in for him. The Miami Dolphins hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Tua Tagovailoa making his NFL starting debut. Got a little look at him late in the previous game. This will be his first start. Pretty tough matchup, right? Devontae Parker off the injury report. Jakeem Grant off the injury report. Adam Shaheen still on the injury report. He's had a couple touchdowns the last couple games, or a touchdown each in the last two games. Maybe this opens the door for Mike Gesicki, but he's listed as questionable. My expectation is he will play. On the other side of the ball, Tyler Higbee, who missed Monday night's game with a hand injury, is questionable with the same injury. Seems more likely to play this week, but nothing is guaranteed. Johnny Munt filled in along with Gerald Everett. Made some nice plays, did Munt. Wish Tyler Higbee was making some of those plays when he was healthy. For the Indianapolis Colts, Mo Alley Cox listed as questionable with a knee injury. Coming off the bye, got a little limited work in this week. Trey Burton is there. Jack Doyle is there. Doyle missed a couple days of practice earlier this week for non-injury reasons. He came off the report on Friday and practiced fully Friday, so I'm guessing he's good to go. Michael Pittman Jr. activated off injured reserve early Saturday, so he'll be available for a receiving core that honestly needs all the help it can get. I'll look for Jonathan Taylor to start coming on down the stretch. All right, late afternoon window. We have the trickiest one of the day. Seattle Seahawks playing in San Francisco, or hosting San Francisco, in Seattle. Chris Carson listed as questionable with a midfoot sprain. Travis Homer listed as questionable with a knee injury. Carlos Hyde listed as doubtful with a hamstring. Going into the week, who would have thought that Hyde was the least likely to play? So, and that seems to be where we're at, man. Chris Carson, the initial reporting was he would miss, maybe he'd be week to week with that midfoot sprain. That's not an easy injury for anybody. I've talked to a lot of people who cover the team on a daily basis. Michael Sean Duggar from The Athletic being one of them, who just thinks this guy is a next level kind of human who will play through just about anything. So we'll see if he goes. Listed as questionable. DJ Dallas is the only healthy running back on the roster. If all these guys were inactive, DJ Dallas would be a great play. Just based on the, a prolific offense and him being the only guy there. But if Carson plays, I could probably play him. Homer would be available for third down work. My guess is there will be no Hyde. So that's one we're going to have to watch. It's the late afternoon window, so you need fallback options. And also tricky as well, San Francisco. So there will be no Jeff Wilson Jr. He's out, of course, as you know. Same with Raheem Mostert, both of them missing extended periods with their high ankle sprains. Deebo Samuel's out of this game. Richie James listed as doubtful with an ankle injury of his own, so unlikely to play there. Great matchup for this passing attack. Tevin Coleman and Jordan Reed have been practicing this week. My guess is they will come off. I think Coleman will. Reed is a little iffier, based on Friday reporting. You'll want to check the late breaking update section. That has to happen by 4 p.m. Eastern time Saturday. So what we heard was John Lynch say Tevin Coleman got a big workload in practice Thursday. Thursday's an important day of practice. So we'll see if he's activated. He might have a role. The other players there obviously are LaMichael Hasty, or Jermichael Hasty, my bad, not P. Ryan, Jermichael Hasty, and Jerick McKinnon. McKinnon did next to nothing last week, right? They say he had tired legs. Are they rested this week? This is just a real mysterious background. I mean, if all things being equal, I think Hasty is first in line. But if Coleman's back, all bets are off. So you're kind of taking your chances there. I'll be looking for more on that. I will be updating in the late breaking update section, not just Saturday as we get news in, but overnight and Sunday heading up to the game to try and look for clues as to how that running back pecking order will work out. As for the receiving corps, it's a great matchup, right? George Kittle is going to be a great play. Brandon Ayuk is going to be a great play. Kendrick Bourne might be a good play against the Seattle pass defense that's been super generous and has injuries to boot this week. So all of that going on. Okay, New Orleans at Chicago. There's some things going on there, as always. No Michael Thomas, no Marquez Callaway. Callaway came out last week and, went great guns in Thomas's absence. Now he is gone as well. Emmanuel Sanders still on the COVID-19 list. So Traquan Smith moves to the top of the depth chart at wide receiver. Deontay Harris, Austin Carr probably coming off the practice squad. Maybe a couple other guys too. So that'll be something to watch. It's hard to rely on any of these guys, but if you're in an emergency, check the rankings page for all the Saints receivers will be listed there as they're activated. On the other side of the ball, Allen Robinson cleared off the injury report. He had been listed as doubtful, had the concussion, had to clear the protocol. It's a short week, so it happened early Saturday. He's not only cleared to play, he's removed from the injury report, doubtful designation gone, ready to start. Cordero Patterson still listed as questionable with a quad issue. And so you'll want to check that out. I mean, obviously not a big factor in the offense, right? But Allen Robinson, exciting news there for the Bears, an offense that doesn't have a lot of weapons, right? Okay, so then we move on to the Denver Broncos hosting Los Angeles Chargers. Philip Lindsay listed as questionable, coming off a concussion. We may get word today on his clearance or not. We were told by Vic Fangio, head coach, that it would likely come on Saturday, a final decision. So maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get it overnight, but we should know it well in advance of kickoff. Tim Patrick, the guy who's really come on in the receiving corps, kind of taken over the lead role, certainly done a great job. Listed as questionable, the hamstring injury, really uncertain there. So that'll be something to watch as well. On the other side of the ball, Virgil Green has been placed on IR. The tight end who caught the touchdown last week sprained his ankle badly on the play, and he will not play. Otherwise, everybody there is good to go. Justin Jackson off the injury report late in the week. For the Dallas Cowboys, Sunday Night Football, Andy Dalton listed as doubtful. Might get some word sometime Saturday that, they were holding out hope that he could get on the practice field Saturday, but he wasn't scheduled to. Ben DiNucci expected to start. It's going to be a tough run for Dallas. Their defense is horrible. Their offensive line is not, healthy. Zach Martin should be back this week. But on the other side of the ball, Miles Sanders has been ruled out. Alshon Jeffrey has been ruled out. The good news, Jalen Reagor is practiced all week and activated off IR, so he'll be available to work with Travis Fulgham. Dallas Goedert also activated off IR as of Saturday. So those guys will be available to play Sunday night in what is in a fantastic matchup. Go check the team notes on Dallas to find out just how bad that defense is. Monday Night Football. Chris Godwin will not play, has a broken finger. Scotty Miller dealing with hip and groin issues. He's been playing through them. My guess is, even if he draws questionable designation, he'll play. Rob Gronkowski dealing with a shoulder injury. Well, the injury report officially is not out, won't be out till later Saturday, so you'll want to check that and check the late breaking update section. I suspect Miller and Gronk will play. Antonio Brown still a week away from playing, still serving a suspension this week. He hasn't been practicing with the team and has clearly impressed them. Tom Brady wanted him on the team. My guess is Tom Brady will make him relevant, so we'll see what's going on this week. Mike Evans looks like a good play, with Godwin out. And Evans, off the injury report, has been dealing with an ankle issue. So he's been playing through that this week, finally off the injury report. On the other side of the ball, Devonta Freeman dealing with an ankle injury. Hasn't practiced through Saturday, so not looking great for him. Wayne Gallman would step up if he can't go or if he's limited. Sterling Shepard has shoulder and toe issues. He was limited early in the week. There doesn't seem to be any concern about him not being available for this game. So there you have it. Once again, hit the main page of the site, FootballDiehards.com. Check the late-breaking update section to make sure you have all the latest news based on this. More importantly, go to FSP Staff Cheat Sheet. That's where you'll find links to each of the individual players. So if you have players you're questioning if should be in your lineup, guys I've talked about today, you can go there, click on the link in the description next to the note next to the player. It'll take you right to the latest information on that player. Otherwise, great selection of videos. Our Prop Till You Drop with Jen Ryan and Emil Cadlick. The Blitz College Fantasy Football Show with John Laub. Our Wednesday night DFS lineup show with Kyle Dvorak and Jason Brady's up. We'll have more coming. My Ask Me Anything will be up later Saturday afternoon. John Laub's DFS cash game lineup, DraftKings lineup show will be on later Saturday night. The pregame show on Sunday morning with Emil Cadlick and Jason Brady on as well. Otherwise, the Scholars DraftKings sheet of knowledge. It's a mouthful. You try it. Great stuff from him every week. A column there. Kyle Dvorak's cash and lineup cash game and tournament lineup breakdowns. My own DFS 3 and out. Justin Linero's digging the crates, some bargain basement DFS prices. Gary Davenport's the Shadow Notes. Tons of great content. Go check it out. Make use of all of it. And good luck in all your games this week. We'll see you next week.